Hello, I'm John BenderWaffles Aljets, and today we're creating life. Now, making NPCs can be a really simple process or incredibly complex, depending on what it is that you want to do with your characters. You could easily just have a bunch of mindless talk boxes that stand around and don't do anything until you interact with them, effectively just signs with faces, or you can create characters that have the illusion of having their own autonomy outside of what the player does. It is up to you to decide how much time you spend on them. We're just going to be scratching the surface, however, creating NPCs that walk around randomly and interact with the player when they go up and talk to them. We will also touch upon shopkeeps and such, so look for that. With all that said, guys, let's get to it. Alright guys, so here we are. We are in the port town. I'm going to work here mainly just because it has access to everything that we need. It's got some shops, it's got an inn, there's going to be people walking around, it's great. So speaking of which, let's get to and let's make the very first thing, which is we're just going to have a dude. He's just going to be walking around, kind of doing his own thing. It'll be kind of fairly random, and we'll be able to walk up to him and talk to him. So make sure that you, up here, are in the event tab. It's going to look different from program to program, but it's usually right next to the mapping and right next to the pencil, kind of in between those. It should apply this sort of grid-like look. So that's in the, event mode. Then just select a tab, like let's put our guy, he'll start right here, right click and hit new. That'll bring up this window. This is the event editor. We touched upon this very lightly in the, actually, did we touch upon this? We might have in the interiors episode. I'm not entirely positive. So this is where all of our scripting is going to occur. I say scripting with some pretty heavy air quotes because we're not actually going to be like typing out code. I mean, we might in the later episodes, we might do some stuff with like plugins and stuff that require us to kind of put in code into this editor here. But for the most part, we aren't going to. So it's nothing to worry about. This is something that anybody can do. Doesn't matter your age, your level of experience, anything. It's all perfectly fine. Just menu-based stuff. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to name this. And we're going to name this one Man 1. Why? Because I kind of like to be able to track, okay, so this is a man and it's 1. Yeah, it makes sense. It's for like organizational purposes. Go down here to image and double click. Now we'll get this window here. We can choose, from all of our graphics that we have in the game. So we're going to find a dude who can be walking around. We're going to go with this one. It doesn't matter which of these you pick, because with him walking around, it's going to know to use frames of animation from this particular subset. I usually like to just go with the upper left. So click that, there he is. Over here, autonomous movement. This is something that we're going to be paying attention to for people. Something like signs, you aren't going to be paying too much attention to this. But for people, again, if you want them moving, got to pay attention to this. So type, we want him to go random. Now there are these 4 different sort of ways of getting them to move. Fixed, I don't actually know what the difference is between fixed and custom. I'll get back to you guys on that one. But basically you define the way that you want them to move and they will always only ever move in that way. Random is of course random. They'll like move a little bit, they'll take a second, and then they'll move in another direction, take a second, move for, move, wait for a second, and then move in another direction, etc., etc., etc. And approach, they will always try to move towards the player character as soon as they enter into the map. But we're going to go random. His speed defaults are fine usually for people. We don't, unless you want them like running around, you don't really need them to do this. I like going ×2 slower. You could go normal and they'll be moving as fast as the player, but ×2 slower just looks better to me. And then frequency, this is how often do they move. So if you want somebody who's like really spastic and just really like moving left and right, then highest. If you want them to not move that often, maybe they're kind of slow, maybe they're kind of lazy. Let's be honest, I'm kind of lazy. I can relate. Then you choose lowest. Normal is perfectly fine. Priority, this is important with some sort of scripts. In fact, we will get to this later on in the video, in this very video, but for right now, same as characters is perfect. And then trigger, you can have them do it. The player walks up to them and talks to them, like they go up and they actually hit the action button and they talk to them. Player touch is like they go up and they touch it. So they go up and you bump into the guy, he'll say something. Event touch is like another event touches it. So if you have an event that sets off another event to start moving, and once that event touches this event, it starts it. Auto run, as soon as you come into the map, it'll start running. And I don't know exactly what parallel does. Never used it. Okay, we're just going to go with the action button because it's a person. So then you come over here. This is where all of your sort of scripting will go. We're going to right click and hit new. Now we just want this guy to say something to us every single time that we go up and talk to him. So we're going to go, you right click new, you get this event commands button, or menu, sorry. And everything just closed for some reason. Anyways, so you come over here and you've got all these different tabs, and these are all the different sorts of commands that are built into RPG Maker. Now this menu, the order of them might be different in other programs, but for the most part this is going to be the same between VX-Ace and MV. So there's nothing really to worry about, guys. So we're going to go over here and we're going to click show text, and that brings up our show text menu. Pretty nice. We have a place for a face graphic, which we're going to do. Just double click and find the face graphic that lines up with the guy who's walking around. I believe it's this one, right? Yeah, it's that one. So now when you talk to him, his face will be in there. You don't have to do it with NPCs. I honestly don't usually, because then I have to make face graphics for all my NPCs. If you're doing custom sprites, that's kind of annoying. But for the purposes of here, just to illustrate this, we're going to do it. So you have a face, and then this line here will show you when it will break off the text. We're not going to worry about that right now. I will have an addendum episode that will go into more complicated sort of like text code stuff, so you can change the colors of the text and have it do a new box when this happens and blah, 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 blah. I will have an addendum that will talk about that. I don't want to go too much into it. For right now, we're going to go up, we're going to talk to this guy, and he's going to say, I just love the smell of a cool ocean. And we hit that line, so hit enter. I just love the smell of a cool ocean breeze. Hit preview. That's what it looks like. When we get into the game, that will be at the bottom of our screen. You can do it as a window, dim, transparent. These just change the way that it appears, and this changes where it appears. We're going to do bottom because it makes the most sense, to me at least. Depending on your game, it might make more sense for it to be the top. I don't see a lot of times where it being in the middle is really going to make a lot of sense, but it's a stylistic choice. So do what feels right to you. We're going to do bottom here. And just click OK, and there you go. That's our text. And now for this guy, that is literally all we need. So just click apply and OK. So there he is. We're going to go in. We're going to save the changes. We're going to test. And we're going to walk over. See, he's walking around. He's kind of just doing his own thing. He's going in sort of random ways that he wants to. And we're going to go up and we're going to talk to him. I just love the smell of a cool ocean breeze. There you go. And he will say that to us every single time that we go up and talk to him. So it's like, okay, I'm running around. Oh, I want to talk to you again. Come here. It says the same thing. You can use variables and stuff to change up what they say from time to time, depending on where you are in the story and what's happening. But we're not going to cover variables until a later episode. I believe that is currently scheduled to be episode 10. I believe. So be looking for that. It'll be, it'll greatly expand your coding abilities. So anyways, let's close this now. So we got our dude walking around. That's exactly what we want. What if we wanted to do a sign? Now, if you see here, this tile here, I actually already have a sign. And it's like the base of a statue. So when you're going to do a sign, this is one of those things that you sort of have to think about while you're doing map creation. You have to think, okay, I'm going to want a sign, like we're going to put a sign right here. So you could, during map creation, put a signboard there, and we're going to boop. But that's not what you want to do, because then you just have a sign, and it's not going to work right. So instead, don't have a sign there. Just leave an empty space and mentally acknowledge or write it down or something that you're going to have a sign there. And then we're going to right click and we're going to do this all over again. New event, and this is going to be shop sign 1. So we're going to go down here to image, and one of the great things is that you can also access the tile sets down here. Access tile set tab B and tile set tab C. Within tile set tab B, there's our sign. That's the one that we want. Click it. Okay. And now that is the graphic for the event. And that sign will be there, and it will be solid. The player won't be able to walk through it. Everything will be fine. And it'll be good. Now this is where the priority comes in. Need it to be same as characters, or else you'll just bump into it and it won't do anything. Because the priority of the program will be put on the player. So it'll be waiting for the player to do something, and it won't trigger the event. It just won't work properly. I'm sure that there are different ways of doing this, but that's what I've found in my time using this. Don't need any movement, because the sign's not going to be moving around, is it? I mean, if it was, that's a weird-ass sign. And if you want to do that, you can. I think that graphically it's going to be a little wonky unless you have walking graphics for whatever sign you're using. But that's unimportant. We're going to go over here and we're going to do the same thing with the text box. Show text, and it's just going to be equipment shop. We aren't going to have a face graphics for this because it's a sign. And yeah, that's just what it's going to say. It's going to say equipment shop. Click apply, and there you go. We have a sign that says equipment shop. And you go into the game, press new, go in, we're walking around, we walk, oops, that's a wall. We walk over, we talk to it, equipment shop. And you talk to it from any direction, it's like equipment shop, yay! So we know that this is the equipment shop. We're going to walk in. But there's no shopkeeper. That's where we're getting to our next thing, which is the shopkeepers. So we're going to go into our interior map here and find the equipment shop, which is down here. Now we're going to do the same thing like we did with the other guy. We're going to right click new. We're going to have, this is going to be shop keep 1. Choose an image for him. We are going to go with this guy because he kind of looks like a shopkeeper. We're going to set him as just standing there. So he isn't going to be moving. He's going to be fixed. So they have same priority as players, just standing there. We're going to right click new. And this is where we're going to get a little bit complicated. Because we could just have them just walk up and just immediately go into the shop. Could do that, but that's kind of boring. It doesn't feel like a living thing. So instead, we want him to talk, and we want him to ask, do you want to shop with us? So this is where we're going to do our very first branching bit of code. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to show text, and we're going to have the face file for it, which I believe is this guy. It's a wonderful mustache that he has. So he's going to be like, hello, do you want to buy some equipment? Question mark. And in game it will look like that. Click OK. And we're not done yet. Right click, new, and go show choices. Yes or no. You can do up to 6 choices. Some plugins allow you to have more than 6, but for the most part, 6. And this is going to, have it, what sort of background does it have? Is it a window? Is it transparent? Where is it? It's on the right, middle, left. I'm going to stay with the right. It will default on choice 1, which actually we're going to change it to choice 2 so that people aren't just immediately clicking yes if they just want to get through it. Although actually, now that I think about it, it would make more sense to do choice number 1, because if someone's talking to this guy, they probably want to buy something. So we're going to click this, and now you get this sort of branching thing where you get these subset diamonds. And diamonds kind of show like, okay, this is a new thing. So when yes, I'm going to right click new, Make sure it's under the when yes diamond. And go over here. And we're going to have him say something first. He's going to be like, great. Let me know if you need anything. Make sure you set that face graphic, people, if you're doing face graphics for your NPCs. So now he's going to say something, and then we're going to... Oh yeah, by the way, instead of just right-clicking and hitting new, you can double-click on a blank line with a diamond, and it'll immediately do new. So we're going to go over here to tab 3. And under scene control here, the second option is shop processing. Click that, and it brings up the shop processing menu. So you can go here, and you can double-click, and we'll bring up the merchandise menu, where you can choose what item, weapon, armor, anything like that you want them to be able to buy. So this is an equipment shop. So we're going to have them be able to buy weapons and armor. And just so you know, we are going to be going over items at a later episode, like how to create them, how to create your own equipment, things like that. So just have patience. We'll cover it. It'll be coming. So we're going to have them sell hand axe. We'll do spear. And let's have him sell a katana. And then we're going to have him sell some armor. We're going to have him sell a leather top. And cotton robe. And also, when you're putting in an item, you can click down here to specify price. So if you want like prices to vary from town to town, you can do that. You can do that with this. But I'm not going to worry about that. We're just going to have the basic thing. So he's going to sell those 3 things. You can also set it if you want so the players can't sell their items at this shop. You can click purchase only, but I'm not going to do that because this is the first town with like a proper shop, so it'd be nice if people could offload their, mindless amounts of crap that they got from all the monsters that they grinded while they were coming here. So we're gonna click OK, and there you go. Now you have a shop. But what if your player clicks no? What if they don't? What if they tell him that they don't want to shop with him? It's pretty simple. You just right click here, just be like new, have him say something. You don't even have to have him say anything. You can just be like, okay, and just, players walk off, like whatever. But we're going to have him say, okie dokie. Let me know if you change your mind. Preview that. Looks good. Cool. Click apply, and there you go. Now, if you say yes, you'll go into the shop. If you say no, you won't. So I'm also going to put in a little treasure chest over here, which we will cover in a second. Actually, you know what? I'll cover it right now. So we have this menu. It's called Quick Event Creation. We touched upon it on the interiors tutorial. Transfer, door, we use those. There's also treasure. You just click this, and it brings up a treasure chest. You can change the graphic. I'm going to go for this box because boxes are cool. And we're going to put some gold in it. Let's put 100 gold in it. You can also put items, armor, anything like that. There you go. So now there's a chest in there that you'll be able to pick up one time. Click save. I'm putting that in there because I want you guys to be able to see that shops function. So we're going to go down here and we're going to go into our equipment shop. Before we talk to that dude, we're going to get the 100 gold from the box. Also, if you notice, that said 100G were found. If I were you, I would change the grammar of that. You can just right click on any event like a treasure chest and just click edit and then change it so that that's grammatically correct, because 100G were found just sounds wrong. Write it as like found 100G. Get rid of that were was. So, oh, hello, Anaconda. We're gonna go up to this guy, and remember in the map creation I said that this is a type of counter that you can talk to somebody over, so we don't have to be right next to him. We can talk to him over the counter. So right click or press the action button. Hello, do you want to buy some equipment? We're going to say no. And he's like, okie dokie, let me know if you change your mind. And then, oh crap, I changed my mind. Hello, do you want to buy some equipment? Yes, I do. Great, let me know if you need anything. And then it brings up the menu. You can buy, sell, whatever. We're going to go buy. And we are going to buy us some katanas. So we're going to buy a katana. Uh-oh. So we had a sound effects error here. This was because of the importing of the old project from VX Ace, this will happen from time to time. It's pretty simple. Just change the shop sound effect. So that sucks. But that's that. You can take care of that by just going to the system menu here, and you can change the shop sound effects. Shop. We're going to do this really quick because why not? You know, I think there's a shop, a new one. Shop 1. Cool. That sounded really cheesy. There you go. So now we're going to test that again. I'm kind of rambling. This one is a little bit, this one's going to be a longer tutorial. I think we're already at 20 minutes on the computer segment. Let's go in here, go up, blah, blah, blah. Oh, wait, I don't have gold. Get the gold. Talk to this guy. Great, let me know if you need anything. I'm going to buy a katana. There we go. Now if we go into our menu and into our equipment, we're going to equip Darian here. Optimize. Guess not. And doesn't seem to want to equip him a katana. That's fine. But anyways, we have the katana. It's there. That's great. So now there's one more type of script that we're going to talk about, and it is also an interior one, and that is an inn. Now, I just touched upon the quick event creation menu with treasures. Well, if you notice underneath that is inn. You just click on that, and it gives you this window, and there's a woman, and there's a price. You can change the woman graphic if you want to, or you can just leave it. Click that, and now you technically have a functioning inn. You walk in, you talk to her, she's like, it's 10G, you give her 10G, screen goes black, you get like a sleeping sound effect, and then, you know, your characters are all rested or whatever. But we aren't satisfied with just that, so we're gonna right click and we're gonna edit it. So this is the big, like, complicated inn thing. We aren't gonna go over this too much. The one thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna come here to the text and we're gonna edit it. We're gonna give her a face because she needs a face. Everybody else in this has a face. She does not. There you go. Now she has a face. And we don't really need to change anything else. We're going to label it because, you know, it's smart to be organized, guys. So there you go. Now we have an innkeeper. Let's test that out. One last time. One last test, guys. So, but before that, we have to go into the shop because there's gold in here, and we need gold. So we're going to come here. What's up, buddy? I'm leaving. Just taking your gold and peacing out. So we're going to go over here. We're going to go to the inn. And we, yet again, we can talk across that counter. 10G for one night. Would you like to stay? No, I would not. Jeez. Actually, yes, I would. So we're going to go here. Stay. Goes black. That was lovely. So there you go. That's innkeepers, signs, shopkeeps, and general NPCs. You can get a lot more complicated with this. You can do a lot more stuff just kind of like playing around, you know, like, yeah, it's complicated, and we're going to be touching on scripting a lot in the days to come. But for now, the very, very basics, these sort of what I like to refer to as static scripts, because they're not super dynamic. Well, I mean, I guess technically the innkeeper and the shopkeeper would be dynamic scripts. That's complicated. I'm not going to get into that. Maybe I'll do a theory crafting episode. Oh yeah, by the way, new series coming, theory crafting, where I'll talk about that. But until then, this is all you guys need to know. Oh, also, important factor, you might notice that we have new player sprites, new character sprites, in this one. I finally got MV character sprites, and we have a new lady who is in the party. That is Lydia. She was the winner of my 50 subscriber giveaway. She finally has her sprite in game. If you are the winner of that one and there's anything that you don't like about your sprite, let me know and we will rectify it and get it fixed and get it perfect so that you have a wonderful representation of your character in the game for everybody to see. So anyways, guys, we're going to get back out to the studio, and yeah. Now that you know how to do basic scripting using the events menu, try experimenting and see if you can create more interesting and dynamic characters to help liven up your game's world. In the next episode, we're going to look at dungeons and use the random dungeon generator tool. It should be about a time and a half. You can click on this button up here to go to that video. If it isn't up, that button will instead take you to my channel where you can subscribe. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a like, leave a comment down below, or even support me directly via my Patreon. Click this button here or the link down in the description below to do that. I'll see you next time when I have to save my daughter from being sold into slavery by some Slavic gangsters.